Let's start with some breaking news, Mina. The Suns center DeAndre Ayton reportedly agreeing to a max 4-year, $133 million offer sheet with the Indiana Pacers. The Suns have 2 days to match, or they risk losing Ayton for nothing. Under the rules, once Ayton signs the offer sheet, he can't be part of a sign-and trade for, say, Kevin Durant. And if Phoenix matches, they can't trade him until January 15th. All right, Mina, should the Suns match this offer sheet?
They don't really have a choice, do they? Which is amazing because you know, I know, everybody knows they do not value DeAndre Ayton that way. They made that abundantly clear in the postseason. But to let him walk after, lest we forget, a very strong season would be disastrous for a team with championship aspirations. Frank, what shocks me about all of this is I can't help but wonder, did the Suns not see this coming? Obviously, ideally, they could have worked out some sort of sign-and trade. This takes them out of the Durant sweepstakes, at least in the short term, as you noted. It sounds incredible to say this for a team that did finish with the #1 seed and is running it back, but this feels like a huge L for Phoenix.
Oh, I agree. And if you go back more than 10 years ago, they had Joe Johnson on their roster, and they could have gotten him relatively cheap when they were on the verge of being a championship team. And Robert Sarver, the owner, did not want to go into the luxury tax. And Joe Johnson ended up leaving, and we never heard from the Phoenix Suns again. They never made it to an NBA Finals. And here you are, and you talk about this year. They're a 64-win team. He's the starting center on a 64-win team, and he's the former #1 overall pick. And by the way, I seem to remember a year ago he played pretty well in the playoffs for them, and they made it to the finals. So, Minnie, you tell me, they lose, and he's the one catching all the grief. What about Chris Paul? What about Devin Booker? They were all responsible for only scoring 27 points in Game 7 in the first half against the Dallas Mavericks. I don't understand. I think they have to match this. I think they know they have to do it. You have Chris Paul where he is, Devin Booker in the prime of his career. You have a 64-win team. You're just going to let the center walk like that? I don't believe it.
I don't think so either. And it just feels bad because, recently, Phoenix Suns fans were dreaming of Kevin Durant. It seemed very realistic, and now it feels like a very, very unlikely proposition. But you got to give credit here to DeAndre Ayton because what a nice turn of events for him, right? His team tells him, you don't mean much to us. We're devaluing it. You go out into the market. You get more than they want to pay you. Now they have to pay you, and you have control over whether or not you're traded. Yeah,
you're right. And let's remember now, he's agreed to it. At some point, I think within the next 5 or 6 hours, he'll sign it. So there's still a chance now for some kind of a sign and trade. But, you mentioned how smart he is, and his agent, Bill Duffy. Bill Duffy's been doing this for a long time. Bill Duffy could have gotten a deal on June 30th. We're now 2 weeks into it. So clearly there was something in the works, and when it didn't come to fruition, Bill Duffy probably said, enough is enough. Let me get my client $133 million. And I think Phoenix, that's something they have to do. They have to match it.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.